have been collecting Pokemon cards for years, but it's only really been the last 5 or so years that I've really been getting into it more and actually collecting them, putting them into folders and actually trying to complete collections. It first really started off when I purchased a booster box of XY Steam Siege that I really started getting into collecting, which I've got a massive big folder of them. So, whilst the collection isn't complete, I do have quite a few multiples of them. Which has resulted in why the folder is so thick. So I've managed to get like a few ultra rares over the years. So the booster box was regarding the Volcanion EX, which is an ultra rare. So let's see. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is an ultra rare. And then there's quite a few shinies, non-shinies. Like this Joltik, for example. I've got shinies, but I've also got the standard ones, like that. So one thing that I've noticed, especially in regards to this one, is I was surprised, especially, for example, with the M Steelix EX, especially with the characters. And this set, especially the XY series, I was surprised that quite a lot of them, or quite a few, especially with these ultra rares, have the 2 power types. It's just something that I wasn't expecting, but since I've started collecting these, I've gotten more used to it. So that's up to here. But I've also had to put quite a few towards the back of this folder, simply because the folders and the individual sleeves have gotten that thick that it just no point keeping them in there, and especially if there's the likelihood of the cards getting damaged. So quite a lot of these are like commons. So there's like quite a few multiples of them. Because, well, they're commons, so they typically print more of the common cards than, say, the uncommons and the rares. So that's the end of that one. And then I moved on to Pokemon Go. So I've got a whole nother folder that's nearly as thick as the other one. Once again, not quite as not complete, not quite as thick, but still thick. And with the introduction of this set, they brought out, so let me just pull out this one, a couple of these, put these up here. So, don't know if you can see that little Ditto symbol, but basically there is a Ditto underneath. I'm not going to take it off fully, I'm going to leave it on. That is the only one I've managed to find so far, despite the fact that I've got quite a few different, quite a few different cards in the set. And when Pokemon Go TCG cards came out, they came with codes that you could enter into the Pokemon Go app, which provided stickers. And for example, like on this Pikachu card, the stickers look similar to the hat on Pikachu. Plus there were also a few different designs as well. So another thing that I liked the look of, get the Blissey card out, 1 second. So with this Blissey card, shows a Pokestop. I like the look of that. Put this back, so and then with this Bibarel, there's a reference to Smeargle, which, as you probably know from playing the game, if you've played the game, Smeargle will, on the odd occasion, show up in photos of your Pokemon. And then you've got obviously your egg incubators, lure modules, Pokestops, candy. And then you've got some of the extras from here. And then similar sort of situation in regards to the XY Steam Stage cards. I have quite a lot of extras. They did come with some energy cards, which I've kept separate. And then, oops, I just knocked the camera. And then, so in particular with these, for example, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, they came in booster packs that I purchased, in which they are promo versions. They're all shiny. Same with the Melmetal and Mewtwo V, Candela, Spark, and then in some cases, instead of the energy cards, they would provide these V-Star cards. So I'll put one out. Now, there is a Blanche booster box that you can get. I just was unable to secure a box when they were out and about, but I am looking online to see if I could potentially get one to be able to incorporate into my set. So that's that one. And then I've got another folder as well. This is just like a mixed one from, variety of different packs that I've got, but don't necessarily belong to a certain, range or anything like that. So this first lot of cards, I got as part of the 2023 boosters bundle. I think it was a 35 pack from memory, and they come from the different sets, but they each have the different, or the same symbol. Which I've managed to try to keep the evolutions together. Here. And then for this page, or next couple pages, I purchased a pencil case, which came with a couple of booster packs. So these also come from a variety of different, series of cards. Got them. And that one. So from here, these are from I think it was the 2024 booster packs, booster bundle, 35 packs of the 3 cards, and they are somewhat similar to the old ones. In particular, like for example, the Hoonstoom Graveyard, because they do use some of the same packs, like this one for example, Paldea. I think that one's over Overthorn, I think, or Obernon, whatever it's called. But some of them are other ones. Ogerpon is what I meant to say. But other ones are new though, so you got these ones. And those. And then go over to the last couple pages. And then these ones are basically Scarlet Violet, era cards. But basically they're the same as what I've got here on some of the other pages, except they're not the Halloween released ones. The booster ones. Booster, or otherwise known as. Some more. There. And then I do have another folder, but I showed the cards that I got. But that was from the opening of the Blood Moon Estelina EX cards. That's all for today.